Okay, I'm here with a group from a delegation from Leslie County. Victor Pennington is the teacher, and he and Tony Rice, who's not here, have worked on a tiny house project. And folks, I wished we could show the tiny house, but I think you'll be able to get on the holler and see pictures. But last year we gave $15,000 award to a school district so that the students could build a tiny house. They had to design the tiny house and actually build it, and then we auctioned them off. And it was so successful that this year we said, okay, and we had applications. So Leslie County was one of 8 that has been awarded a tiny house project. And so we have a little tiny house village outside. And I'm very impressed with one that you did in Leslie County. I could talk about it, but go ahead, Victor, and talk about where y'all came up with this idea to develop this tiny house the way you did, and a little bit more about the project before the students can share some stuff.
Certainly. I came down to the Summit Fire last year, and there was 3 tiny homes, like you said, was being presented last year. And we kind of walked through them and started getting ideas, and we was hoping that KVEC had the funding so we could actually do one this year. So we and my principal went back to school, and we found out a little later on that they did have funding for us. So we actually started over the summer trying to get some ideas and designs and what people would want and what they wouldn't want. And trying to make a long story short, everything we did on this tiny house, the students were involved, the staff was involved. And for example, you mentioned the bunk beds earlier. One of the things last year, the only sleeping quarters was upstairs. And I noticed when a lot of the folks went through the tiny homes, they said we like it, but I don't think we can get up the ladder to the sleeping quarters. So that was one of the first things we did was let's think about the sleeping quarters. And let's do both. Let's have a downstairs sleeping quarters and an upstairs. And everything that we did, from the materials ordered, from the layout of the floor plan, we did a survey throughout the whole high school and vocational school. And whatever the survey, whoever picked the black metal roof, whatever the survey predicted, that's what we ended up doing. So it was a total team effort from everyone. And
Kudos to y'all to finish your tiny house, because by the time you got the award, ordered the supplies, started working on it, then we've had bad weather, the flu, and some other distractions that have caused closed schools. So that's
cool.
been remarkable that y'all are able to get it ready here by April 11th.
And correct. And I think I heard some of the people walking through, they said this one is more complete than the other ones.
Yep.
And I credit that to my students. I mean, they have worked on it. These guys have come in on Saturday and Sunday and worked on it. And, we kind of talked about that when we started because, last year was a very mild winter, but now this year has kind of been a little different. So, like I say, hats off to them, just like in life. When you commit to something, you need to go through with it.
So from students, what did you learn about this? Learn from this project?
Just living life and how to build it, how to get out and learn how to do that stuff.
I think for everybody that was just beginning to learn how to do carpentry work and do this type of work, it was a really good experience for them, the ones that haven't been on the workforce or been out there, because we had to take it outside and work on ours because we didn't have enough room in the shop. Once we got the walls studded, we took it outside. So that gave everybody a good chance to see how the workforce is going to be for them later on if they decide to go into this type of work.
And your thoughts?
I learned mostly on how to press and wire because I'm with like the electrical.
So you focus on electrical?
Yeah. And how to do all that, what kind of amps we need to use, what if they need to change it later, and stuff like that.
With the welding, we had done many things on the tiny house trailer that we had never done before. Like when we had to weld the threaded bolts on for the field, for the actual tiny house onto the trailer. None of us in the shop had threaded metal, and it was good for everybody in the shop.
We know there's a lot of publicity about tiny houses. There's even shows that talk about the tiny house. Now, what about your tiny house? How do you think that compares to some of those others that you've seen?
So I'm so proud of the kids, and the design is truly a team effort, and I would put it up against a tiny house, not only here today, but anywhere. And like you said, you watch TV now, and it's either cooking shows or tiny homes, and that's the trend that seems to be going right now. And
Do any of you think you could live in a tiny house?
No.
I say
I think it's just not practical, really.
Yeah, for some people it's not. It just. But for some others, and especially for one night, like if you had a tiny home village and visitors are coming in,
correct.
that would be a great. It's almost like it's basically about the size of a hotel. Small hotel room.
Yeah. Or like a studio apartment. A studio, it's and like I say, it's such a great experience for the kids. It's really, you're doing everything a full-size home is doing. You're just not ordering as many doors, as many windows.
And your tiny house will be put up for auction, and the whole idea is then that get that money so we can get that $15,000 back, so we can get to you another school district, and then that extra money will be able to be used to help with building the tiny house.
Exactly. I think we'll be fine.
Okay. Well, hey, congratulations. I love your place. I think what's unique about it, a lot of tiny houses, they'll have a couch that can make into a bed, or you'll have a bed that'll lay down, come down from the side. But what you've done is you've got actual bunk beds, use your space, and then if you want to climb up the stairs, and your stairs really are very creative, and then you can sleep up there.
Correct.
So it's a tiny house for basically 3 people.
Yes.
Or if you wanted to, make it 4. So that's pretty impressive. Well, congratulations. Thank y'all for being on our program.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.